Hi people, Daniel from Devil & Sons Guitars here. Today I'm talking about this, my Ghostbusters themed Proton Pack guitar. So I made the original Protoncaster in 2016 in anticipation of the release of the Ghostbusters film, which is now called Answer the Call. Now, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments below what you think of that film, but here are some close-ups of the Mark I. Now, I've never been that happy with the guitar myself. It's one of the first guitars I built like this, the first movie-inspired guitar in my range of guitars. I've got like the one on my t-shirt, the Alien series that I make as well. What I wanted to do was modernise and update it in time for the new film, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I've been planning to do this for a long time. When I finally started it, it took me longer than I thought because I just got carried away with things. Now, this video is mainly about me making and customising the guitar, but stay tuned to the end when I'll have some images of it finished. But anyway, at the start of the process, here is what I was thinking. So some of the changes I'm going to make include changing the paintwork. I'm not really that happy with it. I don't like this fake metallic finish, and it's quite shiny. The hand-painted bits can be improved with some additions on it as well. Where the strap used to buckle in, I'm going to build two pedals into the unit here that you can control. I think it's going to be a phaser and a distortion that just sound mental together, and there'll be a working dial here that actually responds to the output. Then LEDs in the fretboard, and the headstock I'm going to change. I'm going to put something in it to make it a bit more stable when it's tuned. So I'm not so keen on this bit along the back, which I think I'm going to get rid of, and I'm probably going to just change this to be one kill switch and not have it as a split coil. But I might even change the humbucker. I'm not sure. I want to see how it sounds with the pedals that I'm going to build into it. Other than that, I think there's a few bits on here where I shaped it by hand, which I think I'm going to improve. I'm not that happy on. I had also considered replacing the inside here, but actually once it's on, I think it looks pretty cool. I had some electronic parts I was going to put in to really spice it up, but I'm not sure they're actually needed. Maybe I'll put some of them around the edges somewhere. Let's see what happens. So here we go with the Mark II. Well, there are loads of things I did for it. Like I mentioned, I wanted to put some more electronic components on it. So this is a fire alarm that I took apart. Since I made the original, I've been really inspired by various YouTubers, such as Dark Power, Cut Transform Glue, and of course, Adam Savage of Tested. Bill Makes Things. People that really do scratch building, kit bashing, things I'd never heard of before when I was trying to do this. People like Adam Savage that pay real close attention to detail. I hadn't really paid as much attention to detail when I made this original as probably I should have done. I just tried to base it on the screenshots that I had of the film before it came out. So this one's just araldited in place, but then it's going to be covered and held tightly so it's quite secure. Because I want this to be a playable guitar, I've got to make sure everything I put on is going to remain in place. So for example, this piece that you see here, although I'm gluing it in place now, later on I'll go back and screw it on to make sure there's no way it's coming off. Here you can see me working on that piece that I wasn't happy with how it had been shaped. I basically used a compass to mark out an exact circle, cut it, filed it. I'm using a cabinet scraper, just trying to get it perfect. At the back here, I just wanted to make it look more interesting, and I like the idea of having a reversed Strat style jack input. And you can also see at the top right here, the top of a stovetop cafetiere. Now, I never really liked this bit, so I'm chipping them away. There's a lot of removing I'm doing. I modelled this bit to look like the plastic cases that were on the bottom of the Ghostbuster Proton Packs in that film, but now I'm kind of updating it to be like my own Proton Pack. I know a lot of Proton Pack builders and enthusiasts try to make them as close to possible as the original screen ones, but also people like to change them in some way and personalise them. Oh yeah, and when that film came out, I put some posts up with my guitar on, and Paul Feig, the director of the film, said this about it. Pretty cool, huh? Now, earlier on in the video, when I was thinking ahead about what I wanted to do, I thought about maybe putting two effects in the guitar, but instead I ended up putting on this Rowan modulation pedal. It's got chorus, flanger, and phaser on it, and I think it sounds pretty cool. This radioactive heart symbol, I quite liked at the time, but I know I can do better And this time, instead of using hand painted things, I'm going to be putting decals on. I'll focus on that in a moment, but for now I've got to drill a hole right through the body to run some new wiring. And what better way to do that than with this, my DeWalt Proton Drill. Just got to be careful not to cross the streams on these. Now, once I've been playing on the original guitar, there were certain things I didn't like. So here I am filing back bits of the bridge. And then I'm doing that kit bashing that I love. I've been doing it on my space-themed guitars. I've been working on them for over a year now. In fact, it's probably coming up to a year and a half. They're nearly finished. Hopefully, in the next couple of months, I'll be putting out videos on those as well, so stay tuned. But essentially, I'm sticking on bits of plastic or found objects, and these white bits of plastic that you can see are leftover pieces from the cutouts that I made on my Cricut cutter for those space guitars. It wouldn't be a finished thing without decals on it, and these decals come direct from the original Proton Pack that you saw in the first Ghostbusters film. If you like the idea of using decals, I use them on my guitars all the time. In fact, I've got a whole video about how to use them properly and how I use them. Sometimes it's not just for details like this, but also for headstock logos and things. This little unit here has got an voltmeter in it, which I connected up to the pedal because I thought it'd be really cool to show the voltage of the battery and how it's dropping to give you an indication of possibly when it needs to be changed. It's really important to have safety notices on things like this. Although if you've watched my A to Z of Guitar series, under E for electricity, you know you can't really electrocute yourself with an electric guitar. Also, I tried to put on some of the decals so they were a bit rough to make them look used, and in the end I did some paint job over them, and also then everything was varnished with a clear coat and I left it in a matte finish. Now, this is the headstock. I've radically changed the headstock. In fact, I've radically changed the neck, and I'm not talking about that in this video because I've got a whole video about how I put LEDs in the neck, because I know a lot of you will want to see the process I went through so you can do it yourselves. That video will be coming out soon, so like and subscribe if you want to hit that. But for now, let's look at the guitar in its finished state. I'm just showing you a few little bits of it, because I am going to make a full demo video about this, where I go into all the little elements, how it works, and obviously give a demo of how to play it. But if you found this video useful and interesting, maybe there's elements of this that you might use yourself, please let me know in the comments, and maybe you'll consider giving me a tip on my Ko-Fi page. This video took me ages to edit. I've put loads of special effects in, I've tried to make it look really cool as well as being helpful. And I love doing things like this, but it's very hard to justify it because I'm not sponsored by anyone. It's through guitar sales and selling my merchandise that I'm able to keep going. And if you can't leave a tip, don't worry, a share of this video and some comments below are what makes it worthwhile for me. So just before you go, why don't you check out me playing the Ghostbusters theme tune on this video. I'm playing it on the original Mark I version of the guitar, or you can check out the playlist of all the Ghostbuster guitar videos that I've done, including the forthcoming demo of this guitar. Till next time, happy strumming.